Hi everyone. Tulik and I had a conversation about perhaps engaging in kind of short videos like the one that I'm trying here today to talk about some general issues that are going to be discussed in the next seminar in the following Friday on the 19th. So in this little video, I want to start by talking about and centering the discussion around the From Objects to Subjects article by Ellison et al. 2018. And I think it's an interesting article in many ways. It frames this issue of teachers doing policy and the distinctions and the sometimes the distances, right, between generally assumed policy players and local constituencies and how they are at times and quite often treated as objects to policy. So it's directed toward them. They had to do the implementation and follow what has been organized ahead of time by others, right, rather than subjects. And we're going to discuss that and see that present in other, for instance, a lot of the Stephen Ball's work and Maguire as well, and you can see that in chapter 3 in my book as well. This, when the book tries to look at conscientization, participation, and activism, what it's trying to say and what it's trying to do is how do we approximate and bring together the issues of policy to the lives of teachers in schools, right? The Ellison article, I think, that raises a couple of questions that I think that will be helpful if for all of us to consider for Friday, right? Keep on thinking about this issue, which is what is the role, right? As they say right from the beginning, what is the role of the teachers, and what would it happen if teachers? But this can be different constituencies as well: musicians, artists, community members. Right, if they engaged more readily and more amply and more sustainably with issues of policy, right? They frame this question by saying if practicing teachers were given a voice, and the given a voice is a challenge there, but they deal with that. But they're given a voice in political debates over urban education policy and reform, what would they say, right? And I think that's a really important way to frame about this issue in relationship to a number of things, right? I like very much right from the beginning on the second page, they talk about interdiscursivity, right? They talk, for instance, in this case, about policy and popular media in how they frame or organize, including contribute to this kind of marginalization of local actors, right, in terms of policy discourse. And I think that is, to me, is at the center of a discussion that I hope we have on Friday, and that you bring ideas and how you see that playing out or have seen that played out, both in the cases that you're considering taking on, as well in general, in general life, right, in other parts of your life, wherever you are. And that means what are the kinds of interdiscursive elements that really lead and push discussions, issues, policy forward, and what are the kinds of things that prevent, right? What are the kinds of things that are happenstance? They're just, it is about miscommunication or is about different ways of thinking and talking or addressing an issue. And what are the kind of more substantive elements that are part of the environment that are really designed, so to speak, to prevent that kind of interaction, those kinds of kind of locally decided ways of acting, and how the perception of people living through day in and day out their realities, and the kinds of priorities they would make, the kinds of initiatives they would like to see happen, at times, and most often than not, quite significantly diverge or differ from the kind of general ideas organized by policy, right? At times, that gap is framed by the kinds of enacting aspects that are in place, right? At times, that distance is made to endure, right? So I think that that to me is one of the key inviting questions for us for this coming week is precisely that: is how do we manage this process and how do we engage with identifying, facilitating, and showing why local players, local actors, local stakeholders can and should have a pretty significant and sustained engagement with policy at the local level, including the idea of practicing policies that go not just from implementing what was done, but also modifying, resisting, reorganizing, and redirecting kind of general policies, particularly when they are open enough, they're ritterly enough, as Stephen Ball would say. So we invite you to consider those issues, particularly in relationship to the Ellison. So we hope this is helpful. Take care. Bye.